Hello and welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to see a very important function that you should be aware of, which is the XLOOKUP, and I would say that is a more powerful function than the traditional VLOOKUP, and now we will understand why. So as you can see, I've already opened my Excel database, the one that I'm using since the beginning of this channel, and we are going actually to extract some information leveraging the XLOOKUP function. So as you can see, I have two sheets, the sales order and the other one. Now it's called VLOOKUP, but we are going to call it in another way, as XLOOKUP, as in this case we are going to use this function. And as you can see, I have a standard order date, that is an order date taken casually from this column A of the sales order sheet. And now we are going to extract the region information, the rep information, as well as the item units, unit cost and total, using the XLOOKUP function. So in order to use the XLOOKUP function, you just have to go on the cell where you want to obtain your output, and then you can just put a plus or even an equal and start writing XLOOKUP, then open a parenthesis, and as you can see, the first thing that Excel is asking is the lookup value. Basically we are looking for this value, the order date, then we can just insert a comma. Now Excel is looking for the lookup array, so where Excel should find this particular value. As you can imagine, we are looking for this value in this column A. So in that case I just select all the column. We can even just select just the cells where we have actually data. In that case, for me, I will just select all the column A. I just insert another comma, and as you can see now, Excel is asking for the return array. So which information are we actually trying to collect corresponding to this information that we have in column A in this particular cell. As you can see, we are looking for the region information. So going back to the sales order sheet, the region information is in column B, so we just select column B. Now we can insert a comma, and now Excel is asking what should I return if this information is not found. We can just, for example, in that case, insert a 0, and the last thing that is important to insert in this function is the type of match, and we always indicate an exact match, so another 0, and we can close our function. We just press enter, and now as you can see, we have been able to extract the region corresponding to this order date. So it could be that from our first point of view, that this function is perceived as basically this equal or very similar to the VLOOKUP function, but it's actually more powerful and more useful. Why? Basically because the power is that in that case we are indicate basically the return arrow in a more I would say easy and intuitive way, because we can just indicate the column where we are looking to extract basically the information corresponding to this order date, and the formula is done. What does it mean? It means that basically the column can be also before of the order date. So for example, the region information that we have just extracted could have been before of that order date, as well as in another potential position, and that wouldn't be a problem. While, as we have seen already with the VLOOKUP function, every time that we actually use and leverage the VLOOKUP function, we have to start from column A and then indicate with a number 1, 2, 3 and so on where is it the information that we are trying to extract. So for example, in that case with the VLOOKUP we have had to select all the array, all the table, and also indicate in which column the information corresponding to this particular order date was it. So in that case we look up the value of the order date in column 2 with an exact match. Okay, that's a problem, first of all, because if the region was, for example, before the order date, in that case in this way basically the VLOOKUP function wouldn't be able to extract the information. And also if basically we are going to modify the order of the column, so for example we insert another column between the order date and the region, in that case the VLOOKUP function is going to break, so it's not very powerful and stable if we modify basically the database. Instead, the XLOOKUP function is very strong, because in both cases we would have been able actually to extract the region information even if the region was before of the order date, and also if we add a column between the two order date and region columns, it wouldn't be a problem, since the XLOOKUP function continue to work in a normal way. So we can see that, for example, as you can see now, we have modified the order of the columns, but the XLOOKUP is still working. And we can also restart creating the XLOOKUP function. Look for this value in column order date, and you return the information corresponding in column A with a 0 if the value is not found, and with an exact match. And now we can just close our function. As you can see, the XLOOKUP is perfectly working, while if we wanted to create a VLOOKUP function, a standard one, we wouldn't have been able actually to extract the region if it was basically in this column. So you can understand why the XLOOKUP function is a more powerful and flexible function compared to the VLOOKUP function, standard one. And so that's why I would suggest to use the XLOOKUP function instead of the VLOOKUP function every time. So I hope the video was useful, and let me know if you have any doubts or any question about it. Thank you.